There we are. Well, good morning. Good morning, people. Good morning. Welcome to the Saturday service. I'm Rabbi Brian. I'm honored and delighted that you decided to spend some time. If you're here with me live on Zoom, let me say hi to all those people. Hello, all my friends who are on Zoom. Wave to all the people who are watching on Facebook, the people who are watching on YouTube. Wave, look up, wave to the person on the box above you, the people on the side. It looks cool. I mean, not to you because you're looking the other way, but it looks cool for the rest of us who are watching. Okay, I'm going to take a breath of air because I am a little overly excited because I love this service.
Oh.
All right. Alex, it's all you. I did all what I needed to do. Let me start with, I want to just start straight off with, we've been talking last week about answering honestly how we are, right? And that there's this great point that Al made, which is, well, first you have to know how you are before you figure out how you're going to answer to someone how you are. And I thought that was grand. And I thought about this sharing, and on the Religion Outside the Box Clubhouse, we posted how this was going, thinking and not immediately answering the question, how are you? Post how it's been going. And we've had 68 comments, which is pretty amazing. But I want you to think for yourself for a moment. If I were to spotlight you, I'm not going to, but if I were to spotlight you on the video and say, how are you today? Would you know how to answer? And I'm going to share a quote which would encourage us to answer honestly. One day you'll tell your story of how you overcome what you're going through now, and it will become part of someone else's survival guide. One day you'll tell your story of how you've overcome what you're going through right now, and it will become part of someone else's survival guide. The other thing I want to say about being honest about how we're doing is, if I am honest that I'm having a good time, I'm feeling flustered, or however I am at the moment, it gives the other person permission to also be human. And I think that's what we all need. We all get so not human, and that's going to bring us straight into the quote that we want to look at today. I sent out, and then we'll take a moment, but I want to just jump us straight in. Here's this beautiful quote from Elizabeth Lesser. It's based on an idea of Rumi's. And Rumi talked about this thing called the open secret. And before we get into the quote, let me make just some quick little announcements. P.L.T.P. Y'all have some, we all are having a big case of P.L.T.P. going on right now. And I don't know if you know that you have this. This is a persistent, life-threatening peril. Persistent, life-threatening peril.
That is a very interesting way to say that, but okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. We have all been living with persistent, life-threatening peril. And get out of your own head for a second, but think about any conscious creature that is living with persistent, life-threatening peril. And where's your heart go? Where's your heart go when you think about any creature on this planet, any conscious creature that is under persistent, life-threatening peril? Fear. Welcome to coronavirus phase 2. Mm-hmm. It's back, and it's mad. Mm-hmm. And I wonder, and this is just an armchair exercise to think about. It doesn't help at all, but is it better to have had a break and been able to hug a few people? I don't know. I think so. I sure as hell did enjoy those hugs that I've got. Anyway, How are we? We're all under persistent, life-threatening peril. And then I want us to look at this quote about sharing that with other people, sharing how we really are with others. And here's the quote from Elizabeth Lesser, based on Rumi's idea of a secret, open secret. See what happens when you offer to another a glimpse of who you really are. Start slowly, without being dramatic. Share the simple dignity of yourself in each moment. Your triumphs, your failures, your satisfaction, and your sorrow. Face your embarrassment at being human, and you'll uncover a deep well of passion and compassion. I'm going to say that line again. Face your embarrassment at being human, and you'll uncover a deep well of passion and compassion. It's a great power, your open secret. When your heart is undefended, you make it safe for whomever you meet to put down their burden of hiding, and then you both can walk through the open door. Next time somebody asks you, how are you doing? I want you to consider being open, maybe even just taking a second to consider how you're doing before you answer. I'm not going to talk much more about that because I want us to take a moment to think. I want us to take a minute to just be here, to concentrate, to look in our own souls. And if you want, keep looking at the screen, look at different people. But let's take just 1 minute of silence. We'll do it when the clock right over here reads 8:08. And you can contemplate
What is all that?
You can contemplate how the noise on the line gets you really, really frustrated. And let's take a minute of silence. Amen.
Amen.
So I said it right before we started our sitting. I want you to consider whatever it is that annoys you, somebody's microphone that's open and it's making noise. I want you to consider it somewhat like this. I call it a spiritual barometer. And the spiritual barometer goes something like this. Jane has a hard time returning library books on time. That's not true. She has a very hard time returning library books on time. When I see the pile of library books sitting there, there are some days where I think, what the hell's wrong with her? She can't return the library books. And I will offer to return the books. It doesn't matter. It gets to me. And there are other days I see the pile of library books and I think, oh my God, she's the most adorable thing in the world. She cannot return a library book on time. Same exact thing, but my reaction's very different. My other favorite examples of a spiritual barometer are my brother-in-law Bob. Sometimes brother-in-law Bob calls, I see the caller ID and I think, what the fuck does he want? And there's sometimes I see the caller ID and it says Robert, and I think, oh my God, it's Bob. I can't wait to talk to him. I drive past a building and it's ugly. I can tell my mood based on if I want to drive my car into the building to ruin, like, so nobody will ever have to see this eyesore again, or if I just look at it and I laugh. I can tell I'm in a better place based on if the thing annoys me or not. And I'm going to say the same for you with the microphones that are on. If the microphone that's on, somebody's mic is inadvertently on, and that drives you crazy, congratulations, you have something to think about. Why does it drive you crazy? I'll give one story. It's from my Buddhist teacher, Nagi. And he said this, ready? He said, imagine you're leaving a supermarket with 2 bags of groceries. You're carrying them, old school. And on the way out, you trip over a kid's skateboard. There's some 14-year-old sitting over there, and they just start to laugh. And you are mad. And Nagi says, well then, consider instead you're leaving the supermarket with 2 bags of groceries, and you trip over a blind person's dog. And all of your things go scatter everywhere. Why would you be mad in one case and not the other? Same outcome. You got to clean up your groceries. To bring this back to last week, we talked about if somebody holds... Oh, you know, wait, hold on. Good morning, everyone. I'm just seeing all of your faces here. Is Annie... Can I pick on you for a second? Because you did a great explanation yesterday. Do you mind telling everybody the thing about the spoon? You can totally say no, and you can still have ice cream.
Which thing about the spoon?
Do you remember if somebody annoys you and you talked about the bowl of spaghetti?
Oh, I'm pinned. Yeah. If someone you like puts a bowl of spaghetti on your lap, you'd be fine with that, and you'd think it's funny. But if your worst enemy or someone you don't like held a spoon a certain way, you'd find that offensive.
If somebody you don't like holds a spoon a certain way, you'll find that offensive. Whereas your best friend could drop a bowl of spaghetti in your lap and you wouldn't care. Thank you, Annie. Perfect. I appreciate that very much. Where is the issue? Where is it? It's all up in our heads. I think that's what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about how do we get through this thing called life where we have some control over the thing that's going on in our reaction to things. Okay, I'm going to take a breath of air because I am a little bit off of my outline. Good morning, everyone. If I didn't say good morning to you, I apologize. I want to thank all of you who are early risers who are here, all the people who are on Facebook and on YouTube who are joining. Also, I want to give a shout out to, I don't know, there's maybe 30 of you on the screen right now who I want to give a shout out to, who show up week after week and you share yourself in public, like really share of yourself big time. And you let all of us get to know who you are. And I want to thank you for that, for showing up and being honest and authentic and you and real and making space for everyone else to do that too. I think it's just awesome. So thank you for all of you who've been sticking around. And if you would like to join this group and you're on Zoom, if you're on Facebook or streaming otherwise, if you go to rotb.org, you sign up for the newsletter, you'll get the invitation to join us. And if like, obviously do everything at your comfort level. If you don't feel comfortable sharing in public, that's cool too. I want to welcome especially 2 other groups of people. Those who have been burned by organized religion. I want to welcome all of you who have been burned by organized religion for kind of, coming back into the waters some. This is not that organized, but still, I understand there's some trauma that's often there. And also I want to thank the people who are new to exploring their spiritual religious life. Because a lot of us never looked at this stuff. We might have even poo-pooed it. And I thank you for coming and exploring it. I want to do us a very quick, for some of us it's a review, for some of you, you don't know this, but there are 5 qualities to a spiritual life.
He's hitting all of them. Jesus Christ.
No idea
I'm
what
sorry?
just happened there. That's all right. This is a live show. And 5 qualities to a spiritual religious life. Let me see a hand or two up. Somebody who's willing to tell me one of them. You remember any of them? Barb, go ahead. Give us one of the qualities of a spiritual life is?
More questions than answers.
Part of having a spiritual life is knowing that not knowing is more important than knowing. Thank you. Let's have another one. I saw Kip, you had your hand up for a second.
Hierarchy of values.
That a spiritual life has a hierarchy of values, usually with things like love, peace, compassion towards the top. But a spiritual life is not value free. A lot of people get that one a little confused. All right, I need another one. Another quality of a spiritual life is... Rags. Yeah, I love it. Rags is doing the sign of it. Is that a spiritual life is about the infinite. It's about feeling connected. Yay. That spiritual life is about knowing. It's about a hierarchy of values. It's about feeling connectedness, knowing that we are all part of the oneness. There are 2 other qualities usually associated with a spiritual life. Yes, Steve, was that a hand? Go for it.
Yeah, sure. It's not about me, and yet it is.
2 very important 2-for-1s here is that it is not about me. Spiritual life is not about aggrandizing the self. That doesn't work. It's not about aggrandizing the self, and that's the other half of it, is that it's a both and at all times. And there's one more quality of a spiritual life, often associated with a spiritual life.
Transformation.
Transformation. Is that a spiritual life is not about transforming the world as so much as it is about allowing ourselves to be transformed. And the thing I always say about this is, most people would rather have been transformed than they enjoy the process of transforming.
Amen.
Right? And if we could only figure out how to transform without having to well, no, that doesn't work. Okay. Raffle tickets. I'm giving raffle tickets this week to all of the people who show up on a regular basis and who are part of this and share themselves. You each get a raffle ticket. If you're new, there's not actually a raffle. We just do this because it's symbolic. And sometimes, like today, I ask, is there something you did in the last week that you're proud of? For which you want to say, hey, folks, I deserve a raffle ticket. I did something kind of good. Give me a hand up or something if you have something that someone got something they're a little bit proud of, want us all to know about. Betsy, talk to us.
I made an appointment to have cataract operations.
Excellent. Self-care. For self-care, you get a raffle ticket. And there were some people, I did get an email last week and I can't remember who it was, and I was told Maria deserved a lottery ticket, a raffle ticket, and I can't remember the reasoning. Yes, Cousin Amy, what do you got?
All right, Rabbi, you actually really know this more than anybody, and I got to share this with the group because I feel so cared by them. Next week, I'm probably going to be going into a residential treatment center.
Yeah.
And it took a long... Could you finish for me, Rabbi?
Yeah,
please?
so Cousin Amy doesn't know if she's going to be here next week because she's going in treatment. And she's going to try to ask the people, say, look, I'm part of a religious group, and we'll see how well that works or doesn't. But otherwise, we might not see Cousin Amy for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. It's not really on her. And she's hurting hard. And Amy, God bless you. I'm going to post, when you send me the address, I'm going to send you all of these raffle tickets for being so open and honest. And
Give her
I will,
mine.
Is
She can
there
have
an
mine.
address that we can send cards to?
yeah, I will get Amy.
I will send cousin Rabbi, whatever. I will send you my mailing address, whether they
Yeah.
give me letters
Yeah.
or not.
I have a
Do what
feeling
you
they're going to
want,
allow letters.
Because
Yeah.
my family really is very distant.
You're having a hard. So, folks, let's just jump straight ahead to time for some prayers. Let's put Cousin Amy in our hearts. And there was a way. Joe, you had a method by which you wanted to collect prayer thoughts, and I can't remember it at this moment. Could you tell us?
So if you can help me with the Jewish word for
Oh
it.
yeah, so there's a Jewish word. If a prayer for healing is called mishaberach. That's
How do you spell it?
And
okay.
it's just
In
a bit,
Hebrew.
from what I understand, and correct me if I need any tweaks to this, but it's a part of, you just say the name of a person. It's
Yeah.
a list, right? We're just listing, and then community, we're loving them. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll start with Amy and Lee's dad and Wanda H and Bob, Alex and Scott, Ron B, Alma, Axel and family, BAAL and KL, anxiety with any change, Linda, Monica, Liz, thanks for a healthy baby girl, and prayers for anybody unable or afraid to get the vaccine. And that list came from the Mighty Network's Clubhouse under the prayer requests topic. So I'll be checking that every week.
So if you guys go onto the online Clubhouse, this was if you want to see who's online now, but above it there's different rooms, and one of the rooms is for prayers. And so if you want to add in a prayer, we'll put a link up to how to become part of the Clubhouse. Thank you for reading those names, Joe.
How do you spell that word?
It's in-
But that's
It's in the chat.
could somebody with some Hebrew literacy add Misha Berach in any way you want to transliterate it into the chat? Thank you.
It's already in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
Misha Berach.
I don't monitor the chat because I have a lot going on over here right now. But I want to thank Joe, who always monitors the chat, and I want to thank Lee, who transcribes, and then Scott for sitting by Alex's side, because she's doing a lot of heavy lifting with the technology. And thanks to who am I missing on my thanks? And thanks to Anne, who takes those videos and helps to know where each piece is. And just, I'm very thankful. So thankful for you all. Out of order here, but that's all right. Oh, also thanks to Kip and Al, who after the service we run. So from the service is from my time 8 o'clock to my time 9 o'clock, and then after the service there's a more intimate, quieter, smaller space where people can interact. So thank the people who are running that. I'm going to ask you for a favor while I'm a little. Oh, and also I want to add in a prayer for Jeffrey, because he lost his best buddy Richie recently, and that wasn't on the list. Do we have... No? Hold on. I want to make an apology. We had a technological snafu, and I had logged back into the network and then cut people off at some point, so I apologize for that. Under the list of apologies, last week, under the topic of God drop, because I do a little God thing with you, not every week, but often, I had people had you write an email to yourself from God, and I didn't couch it softly enough for my agnostic friends, and it really did trigger some people afterwards. I got some beautiful heart-opened emails from people about that, so I want to apologize if that exercise left you feeling a little skitchy. But that being said, when the links go up, Alex, would you put the links up in the chat now? What the heck? So you'll see there's a link for something called God's Experiments. If you would like to do spiritual direction, but privately where nobody has to see your responses, I made a class just for you. So if you follow the link in the chat to the Etsy store, you'll see something called God's Experiments, and it's 26 different exercises to help you figure out what you mean by the letters G-O-D. Okay, that we did, that we did, we did.
Fine.
Take out a piece of paper, please, and I'd like you to write down three things. I want you to write down, I am blank, I am blank, and I am blank. Write down anything you want, any three things. You could do more, you can do 5, 7, doesn't matter. But just write a few things down on a piece of paper that says, I am this, I am this, I am that. And I know the perils of saying that we are that, because of course we are more than just that, but just go with the exercise for right now. We're going somewhere else with it. So, right, I am this, I am this, I am that. And then we're going to go somewhere from that in a moment. Oh. I'm going to circle us back to the quote that we started with about the open secrets. There it is. Bring us back to that quote for a moment. I tell you when I got this. I'll tell you when I was teaching in Los Angeles, and I'm at a school, and we're doing this exercise as a staff called the Johari window. Right, I'm already ordained as a rabbi. I dropped out of organized religion. I'm teaching high school in Lincoln Heights, Los Angeles, and we have an in-service. One of these days, all the teachers and staff get together, and we have a training, and we do something called the Johari window. And one of the parts of the exercise is you have to tell everyone the thing you are really secretly, but they don't all know. So we talk about the things everyone sees who we are, but you have to tell everyone the secret part of yourself that not everyone knows. And I'm taken by how many of the teachers say something along the lines of, what you all don't know is that I'm very spiritual. And they all say something along those lines. I'm spiritual. What a lot of people don't know about me is how connected to the... And it got to my turn, and I thought, well, fuck, they know I'm spiritual already. Like, that's been established. And I think, well, what they don't know, and I kind of dared myself and I did it, and I looked at them all, I said, what you all know about me and see about me is that I'm spiritual. What you don't know about me, and I keep pretty secret, is I'm really fucking judgmental and angry a lot of the time. And it was so liberating because it was honest. It was true. And I think that brings us into this quote. It's so often we hide who we really are from each other. And I think back to Al's point is we don't only hide it from each other, we might even hide it from ourselves, how we really are. Yeah. Cousin Amy, I see your hands up. Help me out, but otherwise I'm a little bit on a roll.
I'll let you go and I'll let you continue. I was going to just say that's from the German upbringing.
Yeah, good. Well, you don't have to be German to be detached from your feelings. I think I saw that.
No, I understand, but that was ingrained.
Yes. Some of us got the message louder than others not to share who we really are. How many of you got that message pretty loud, that you shouldn't share who you really are, because if you shared who you really are, bad things would happen? Let me see your hands. How many of you are in recovery for that? Shocking, it's the exact same number of people. Okay, so we're all in recovery for trying to be honest for who we really are. Here's what I want us to do. We're going to go into small groups. Alex, I'm going to ask for groups of about 4 or 5. If you do not want to be in a group, so Alex, if you would preset rooms of 4 or 5, and I will explain the games. If you do not want to be in a room, and in these rooms, people tend to share. And I want you to share. If you don't want to share, and you know, That's not for me. Just stick around, stay with me here. We might meditate for the 5-10 minutes that we're doing that. What I'd like you to do, hold on. I want to tell you, y'all know the song What I Like About You? What I like about you. Okay, come on, somebody bop along so I know that I'm not alone here.
I'm bopping.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let me just show the people on video that we have some bops going on. Good. What I like about you. And I make all wedding couples who I meet with, I make them do this on Friday nights. I make them look at each other on Friday nights and say 3 things that they like about each other. What I like about you is, what I like about you is. And my children have grown up, and we do this almost every Friday night. We do some variation of what I like about you. We're going to do a variation of that right now, and we're going to do what I like about me. Hold on, squirm buckets. We're not there yet.
What squirm? There's no squirm buckets here.
Yeah, none of you. You're all. Yeah, no. Go ahead, Kip. Say that again.
Nope, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, but you know where I'm going, do you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Rabbi, for extreme close-up, I think I need another camera so I can look off to the side for this shot and go, isn't that interesting? As soon as we know we're about to do a thing where we have to say what we like about ourselves, we get a little sketchy. You know those 3 to 5 to 7 things you just wrote down? When you go to the small rooms, what you're going to say is, what I like about me is that I am, and I don't care if you wrote that I am ugly. I want you to write. I want you to still say, what I like about me is that I'm whatever, that I get frustrated. What I like about me is that I get frustrated when I shouldn't. What I like about me is I am, whatever you wrote down, try it out. And you're going to go around in your group and share the things what I like about me is. And then after you share the sentences you have there, I want and pause, listen between each of them and look inside and see, how do you feel? How does it feel to do this? And then make a little bit of mental notes for later of maybe you got some homework you want to do with yourself. So here's what we're doing. We're breaking into small rooms. You're going to go around the room. You're going to say, what I like about me is that I am, and you know where to get the answers to that. You can say something different than written down if you want, but it's got to be something bigger or better than the one you were going to say. We all right with the rules here? Give me some visuals. All right, Alex. Wait, there's a question? No, those are thumbs up. Okay, here we go. Alex, open up the rooms. And out. Are we good there? So, folks, you go to the rooms, and I will stay here with anyone who stays.
Rabbi, I'm gonna stay because I'm babysitting.
Oh my God, you sure are. Look
Yeah.
at that baby.
48, not even, yep, 48 hours old.
Unbelievable, Diane. Oh.
But she's gonna be wanting a nurse soon, so I won't be able to participate.
That's all right. That's all right.
He's got the baby squeals over there big time.
Yeah, Diane, I don't think you need any more dose of spiritual living than what you got going on right now.
Nope. It's pretty amazing.
It is pretty amazing.
Oh, wow. Full head of hair. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Always best when they're quiet and sleeping.
Alex, I have a question.
Absolutely.
Something came up on my screen saying I've been asked to join room 2. I'm thinking if I join room 2, I can come back, but I have to give you can you bring up, I feel like I'm about to go deep sea diving. Can you bring me back in, I don't know, 6 minutes?
Well, do you want me to I can just close the room in 6 minutes. I can do that.
Yeah, and can you broadcast a message to all rooms saying these rooms will be going for blank minutes, and you figure out whatever that math was?
Yeah, so I'll set a timer for 5 minutes and then I'll send that message out. I'll send the message out and then we will pull everybody, I'll close the room and they'll get to total of 6 minutes.
And can you tell them all that they have 6 minutes starting now?
Yes.
Okay. Bye. I'm going to go dive.
And the second one I put was that it comes naturally to me to have compassion. And I'm grateful for that. That when other people are getting mad and judgmental, that's not where my heart goes.
I like that.
Rabbi, you joined us.
I know, I thought I could. I didn't know who was in the room, but I got a thing that said you were invited to join group 2. So I said, Alex, I'm going deep diving. So where are we up to?
That makes me the only person whose name doesn't include Meyer up there.
We can adopt you.
I think you should.
You're in.
Thank you. Thank you.
We've all gone already.
Yeah, your turn.
Okay. What I like about me is I am an artist, and I have an artist's soul. What I like about me is I am scared and not scared, both. What I like about me is I am ever getting better at being present to who I am, where I am.
Like us.
All right. And I guess I could say what I like about me is I am panicked that I gave way too much time for this breakout group. Then I knew, because I think we still have like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is when both Annie and Rags said what they liked, I went, oh yeah, I've got that too.
Yeah.
I'm a good writer.
Yeah, and I react the same way with the creativity. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is it hard to say these things that we're proud of ourselves for?
Yeah.
Rags?
I'm trying to figure out exactly the difference it makes to say things I like. I feel like that's easier than saying I'm proud of myself for.
Okay, what I like about me is that that's not yet pride.
Well, what I like about me I'm saying these are things that make it good to be me, make me grateful to be me. I'm proud implies that I am responsible for it. I take credit for it. And what I felt like I was naming was gifts that I feel I've been given, and I'm lucky. I'm lucky that I'm a good writer, and I'm lucky that compassion comes very easily to me. But I would find it much harder to say I'm proud, because then, what do I want to take credit for requires a little different.
Well, that's a good point.
Digging.
I think that it's easier to say I am blank than saying what I like about me.
Is that you are that thing?
Yeah. Even if I said I am creative, I feel like that would be easier than saying what I like about me is that I am creative.
Mm-hmm.
Admitting that you like that about you. That I am blank is saying
it's just a fact.
Is the fact.
But it's
But if you say what I like about me is that you're admitting to something that might be wrong.
There's a value. You added a value to it, and it became somehow different when you have a value to it. And you were nodding. You have the same thing.
Yeah. when we just wrote down I am, one thing that I wrote was I am emotional. Which is very loaded for me because grown up with that's a bad thing. Now I'm just learning that it's not a bad thing, but it's still really loaded. So as Annie said, it was easy for me to write I am emotional.
Right.
I then have to unpack that.
And then when you say what I like about me is that I am emotional, what happened there?
That was harder.
Yeah.
I did say it, but it was...
Good for you.
When you say I am creative or I am emotional, it's like just saying something or just writing
it's a fact.
But if you're saying what I like about me, it's digging deeper into something that you maybe don't want to go into.
Yeah.
And it's also a stepping back from yourself and looking at yourself, and that's can be less comfortable.
The value. I'm gonna run off just because I'm like the host of the party. Excuse me.
Oh, it feels like our business if you're not, anyway.
Yeah, well, she was just...
Yeah, in a way, it is our business.
Quiet and go, oh, look, she's wearing a mask. Like, like she's... the way she said it, I guess you'd have to have been there, but the way she said it was like making fun of me or mocking me because I was wearing a mask, and I just responded uncharacteristically, mind your own business. And it felt good.
Good on
I think what I do to help myself is remind myself that they're probably being defensive about something that's going on in them. So it's not about me, and that's sad.
It is, isn't it?
It is sad.
Well, I'm going to interject. Thank you guys for all sharing. I know people are coming back from different experiences and different ones, but hi, welcome back. I think Alex, we're all back now.
I believe everybody has come back.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone, from the small groups. If you were on Facebook or YouTube, I don't know what you just saw, but I hope you had a good experience there.
We were on a roll.
What?
Yes, we were.
Talk to me about light bulbs that went off. Did anyone see a light bulb? Anyone see a light bulb at all? Seemed to anything went on there. What? Any light bulb things that you just want to share with
Michael's
the whole
hands
group?
up.
Yeah, Michael.
The light bulb was the two things. One was some of the things that I like about myself. Sometimes I was feeling it's also some of the things I don't.
Right, right.
And on the other hand, one other thing is the light bulb that went on is after a while of choosing positive things, I really felt better.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That's weird, but good. maybe there's even some science behind that. Let's keep doing that. Bob, what do you got?
I just want to know whether it makes a difference, whether it's fluorescent or
And thank you, Bob, for being my spiritual barometer and reminding me I'm in a good mood. Okay. What else do we have? We had in ours, we had like anyone else have you said something about I am that was like a negative statement. I am yick. And then when you went around to say what I like about myself is that I am this, that caused a shift. How many of you had that kind of experience? I know we did in our group. Okay, so for the 6 of us for whom the thing worked the way I thought it was going to work, fantastic. And for the rest of you, I hope it was even more meaningful than that. I have some announcements to make. Oh, question for you. Show of hands.
Okay.
How many of you miss the announcements being read by somebody? And how many are you all right with me doing the announcements myself? We got just a few. Well, now, okay, I got one.
Yeah, you asked 2 questions.
I did. I asked 2 questions, so I forced it to be a stalemate. That was great. Good for me.
Which answer? Yes. Which question do you want to answer?
Okay. Well, we're going to see how it goes this week again, and if you are furious, let me know. have some reports back from various committees. The Shekhinah group continues to meet. They are founded with the idea that perhaps the divine is trying to move this group in some way. And if I weren't hearing it, maybe y'all were hearing it. And I know that group, boy, y'all send a lot of emails and have some real deep discussions and video. And I think that's just fantastic. If you are not part of the Shekhinah group, Shekhinah being a word for the feminine aspect of the divine, and there's a whole dive on that. If you want to be part of the Shekhinah group, send me an email, and I will hook you up with that group. If you want to know about the weekday coffee talk, Friends of Rabbi Brian coffee talk, send me an email. I'll get you an invitation to that. That's at 11 a.m. Weekdays. There's a new committee starting. It's called the Beginning Committee.
The what?
Beginning. It's like to make something bigger. Beginning.
Oh,
The Lorax calls it biggering.
Biggering.
Careful.
Well, we might have the Lorax on the committee. I don't know. But here's the thing. I have all this stuff that I want to share. I have so much religious goodness I want to share. I looked at it. I got 9 different tools that I've been teaching you guys. 6 different spiritual topics, 3 different religious topics, and I want to share this with more people. And I want your help in doing so. So you can be a secret member of the Beginning Committee by forwarding the 77% Weekly to people. Send that over to people. If there's something that you think that they would enjoy, send that over so that they can sign up and they can be part of this as well. It's harder to invite people to a service. You guys are all here at the Saturday service. People get really sketchy when you say, hey, there's this rabbi, I want you to attend a service. It gets a little bit like, send them to the 77% Weekly. Also, you can send people to my Instagram, which this was my favorite. This was from my friend Eric. He got a thing on his he got a little note on his Instagram feed that said this.
What?
There it is.
Nice.
Nice.
That made me very happy. If you want to follow on Instagram, oh boy. Alex, can you spotlight me? If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can find me right here, Rabbi Brian, and then it says like that. There it is. That's my hashtag on Instagram. There's a phrase in Hebrew that says Hamevin Yavin, which means those who understand will understand. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. And also in the announcements category. Oh, okay, wait. This has got the wrong verb in it, and the picture's totally bizarre, but it's just a great one.
Oh, well, that's kind of interesting.
Where'd it go?
Should be there. There we are. God said, love your enemies, and I obeyed and loved myself.
That's great.
Isn't that a beautiful one?
The wrong verb.
No, it's the photo. I think the photo, that's the only thing I thought was weird about it. It was like, what the hell does that photo have to do with that at all?
That's the guy, that's the doctor from House.
Yeah, it's Hugh Laurie.
Yeah, but still, what's it got?
Why?
I don't understand.
Why?
He's the
crankiest.
He's the
He's the cranky of crankiest, so it makes sense to put him in there.
Okay.
It works for me.
It got me confused, but I'm lovely.
Those who will understand will understand.
Thank you, Kip. Thank you.
Raffle ticket for Kip.
This coming up September 10th is a Friday night. There's going to be a Religion Outside the Box, both live in person, and don't worry, the sanctuary sits 800, so I am really certain we will be able to do social distancing, and you can sit at least 20 feet from anybody else in the sanctuary. Or you can join via Zoom. So if the link, I don't have a website up there for that. Okay, let me do a quick, if you would like to sign up, I'm going to put this into the chat.
I posted the link that you had in your link list.
Did I have a chat to it? Oh, I am so smart.
I put it in the chat already.
Oh, good for me. Thanks, past me.
Are you going to eventually put a sign up in the newsletter too?
Did I thought I put something in the newsletter. Did I not?
I don't know.
You did.
Out about it.
I'll do it again. It will be in the one for Monday, I promise. Oh, and the one for Mondays, it's good. It's about masking. Topical. Okay, so
Did you send one this week?
this week was an off week, Sherry.
Oh, I thought you announce it when it's an off week.
You did. I looked in, and I followed up with your emails. It was sent to your box.
Okay.
I don't know what happened to it.
The Empower support link is broken. So.
Oh yeah, so you can't donate right now. Nobody can. The whole website's getting redone. rotb.org is getting redone right now. So save your money, and you'll be able to give it next week. But the whole website's getting redone. It's really exciting and cool. Thank you, Ron, for pointing that out.
Is it going to be easier to navigate?
No, Rita, I made it deliberately worse. I paid a lot of money. A lot of money. I was like, what can we do to really fuck this up?
Terrible.
Okay, I lied. I totally lied. It was going to be easier. That was actually the goal. The goal was to make it a little bit easier. That was snarky.
My parrot in the other room is laughing right now.
Okay, so I want to share one other thing with you, and I've been so excited to share this for so long, and I haven't had the time. It just hasn't happened, and this is not enough time to do it. But we're going to do it anyway. Oh my goodness. There's all the different windows.
What
Here
are
we
you
are.
doing?
So eventually I'm going to raise enough money to have somebody run the videos and make it worse than what you just experienced too. But for right now, sometimes the video does that, Christina. I apologize. It's we're doing the best we can. Wait. Okay, the thing I want to tell you, I want to teach you guys a thing. This is one of my favorite stories of all time. And Katie, yes, we are finally doing it. This is the allegory of Plato's caves. This is an amazing story that you need to know. The allegory of Plato's caves goes like this. Once upon a time, and please, let's not go for like solid facts. This is an allegory. Some parts of it are kind of doopity-doo. There's a cave. Here's our cave. And there are people. Here's a guy. And they're seated. That's a chair. In such a way that they can only look forward. Think Clockwork Orange, but then don't think that too much longer because it was really, really scary. Okay. And behind them is a fire. And between them and the fire, there's a space. And in that space, I apologize, my drawing skills, yes, this is what you're going to get. Between the fire and the people, other people pass. So just go for three-dimensional that this little character can walk up and down between the fire and the guy who's strapped facing the wall. And when this guy walks up and down between the fire and the other person, a shadow appears over here going up and down. You can think of it, I think we have a much better ability to picture this if we think about a movie theater. You guys remember like a year and a half ago when you went to the movies? Okay. Everyone's facing this way. There's a bright light here. And anything that passes between the bright light and the person is going to be put onto the wall. Now here's what Plato says about this. Plato says that this guy, let's say this guy says, hey Bob, we're going to name this person here Bob. Oh Bob, that's not meant to be an insult to you. I usually use the name Bob. Oh, I feel like that could be misinterpreted. This is Bob. Shadow goes back and forth, says, hey, good morning, Bob. And the person sitting here, Bob, sees the shadow going up and down on the wall. And because of this, Bob thinks that the shadow is what's making the sound. Let me just say that one more time. There's a person passing between the fire and Bob who's strapped to a chair looking only at the wall. When the person walks past the fire and says, "Hey, good morning, Bob," Bob sees the shadow on the wall and assumes that the sound is coming from the shadow. And Bob very courteously says, "Well, hello, sir." Okay. Now, in the story, and I don't know how this works, but this is how it happens. In the story, Bob gets removed, from Bob's chair.
Ouch.
Yes, it's going to get worse, Bob. And Bob gets taken outside, where for the very first time, Bob sees the sun. Hey, Bob, I'm talking to you, Bob, my friend Bob Honk Bob. What do you think the very first time you see the sun after being locked in a cave all those years? What's the thing that comes to mind first? You want to first exclaim? What do you exclaim, Bob?
I cover my eyes.
Yeah.
Why?
Bright.
Why do you cover your eyes?
Too bright.
It's too bright. And eventually, the story goes, Bob opens Bob's eyes a little bit, sees the sun, and Bob says, Bob, wait, question. You like it or don't like it, seeing the sun?
Oh, marvelous.
That's not the way Plato wrote the story.
Oh, I didn't read Plato.
Okay. It's all right. It's all right. So let me do this. For most other people, and Bob, you are your own special Bob. Most people, Katie, I'm going to have you sub in and play the part of this Bob for a moment.
You want to go back in the cave?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's too bright.
Right.
It's too much.
So you want to go back in the cave?
Not what I think is real.
Because it's overwhelming. It's horrible. Yeah. Now, Katie, I have a question. Let's put you, Bob, Katie Bob, back into the cave. What's the problem?
You know it's not the whole world anymore. And it's also not enough. And it's you're just stuck in limbo now.
You can't be here. And you can't be here. So what happens? Eventually, you decide you have to pick between the two, Katie. You have time. And after a bunch of years of this, you decide which one.
You decide, oh no, I learned this when I was like 9.
No, I don't care about that. Where do you have now been shown the truth, the real truth, the honest truth. Do you go towards that, or do you poke your eyes out and say there is no light?
I feel like it depends on what the truth looks like.
On the person and their experiences.
Yeah.
Them.
So
in their truth.
So what Plato said was eventually, when shown the truth, people will gravitate towards the truth. Because in the long run, it's simpler, it's clearer, and we get over our discomfort. We have to lose, and we lose a lot. And this goes back to when we did the mermaid and the robber. We lose a lot when we leave this. We lose our community. We lose the way we used to understand reality. But we can't not do that.
Yeah.
And this is our religious lives. When we see that something that we thought was true wasn't true, and we have to now adopt a new theology, we have to adopt a new outlook on life, a new worldview. And I'll tell you one last thing before we go. One last thing about this. Plato said, oh boy.
Yeah,
Sorry about that again. Plato said that eventually this person, Bob, gets used to the sun and is willing to live in the sunlight. And the last part of the story, and this is horrible, but this is how the story goes, is that this person returns to the cave to tell all the other people in the cave the truth that they now know. And Plato, and I think this is absolutely how human nature is, Plato says that all the other people in the cave think that they have gone insane and kill them to get them out of their own misery. That's sombering.
Ooh.
You
dangerous.
You ever try to convince somebody of the truth and they don't want to see it? They don't want to hear it, and they'll kill you for it. Maybe not literally, metaphorically. Okay. This gives us a lot to think about. Maybe next week we'll do little coloring books about this. I love making everyone make little coloring books. We'll see. We're at a time boundary, so I want us to stop. I want to thank all of you who are here. Please ask everyone who is here if you'd wave and say goodbye, because we're done with today's Saturday service. Thank you all for coming. Stick around though, because